Hey y'all, I'm not having a watch party or anything, but now I think about it, coronavirus and not, I could have scheduled that with a few friends. I mean, friends from Facebook that I didn't even talk to in high school like that. This is where we can have this common ground of P-Valley. I'm telling you, maybe set in Mississippi, but it sounds like Northwest Louisiana. Everything along the I-20, that accent is just too close. So let's speculate. What do y'all expect to happen tonight? Let's go through the cast, starting with Uncle Clifford. I anticipate Uncle Clifford is going to get that 55,000. Actually, more than that. I'm perplexed why Haley hasn't given it to him. Like, girl, you out here throwing money at Mercedes for a gym and all this other fancy stuff you got going on. And here it is, Montrose is here to whoop your ass. So let's talk about that. Is Uncle Clifford gonna be able to save it? Loretta Devine gonna pull some money out the hat somewhere? I don't think so. She seems to go to payday loans, not even like real places to refinance. Like Uncle Clifford was going to the Asian owned one. Was it Asian owned? Drop in the comments, let me know. But somebody mentioned in the comments last week, which I thought was quite useful, because it is excited about the episode that I shared with y'all. Some folks were not. They were like, you know what? It's a lot of loose ends, and only one more episode. What's going to happen? Well, maybe it's going to lead us into being able to secure a season 2 and season 3 contract. So shout out to Miss Katori Hall. She's able to pull it off and get a multi-year contract. I can see it replacing the scandal process. Tyler Perry filmed during coronavirus, or had people filming during coronavirus for that show, I believe, Sisters. Honey, if they can do it, I'm okay with others not jeopardizing themselves. However, if you choose to, take the right precautions, get your temperatures before you start working, be honest and self-disclose. Yep, I'm sick, I can't come in, that kind of thing, and work it out. Because I would enjoy some new scripted shows. I am not the reality queen. I'm really not. And when I learned how much my mother knew about reality shows, like she said, it's the only thing that comes on. It's all it's on nowadays. And that was a couple of years back. Because she really did like Big Ange and the, what is the mob show that was for Jersey? Oh, Mob Wives, duh. Anywho, Mercedes. I think Mercedes is going to be able to get that gym going. Or she's going to give up the $20,000, give it to Uncle Clifford, and just share the space with Sister Patrice Woodbine. Oh, FYI, listen to the Spotify playlist if you get around to it. I thought they did a good job having everybody on the Spotify playlist, but I was confused when I first saw the name because they don't have the character names listed for the artists. But I was like, who's singing? That sound like Patrice Woodbine. Why do I know that voice? Child. It was the actress who plays Miss Sister Patrice Woodbine. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Her name is Harriet D. Foy, Foy. So with that being said, I think that's worth talking about. Corbin, I think for what it's worth, $15,000 a month is a lowball number. I got that from the conjecture that Andre gave the real investor of the company. Give them what they were. But it really sounded like, I'm going to hold them on the line. Like a fish with bait. And so 15,000 really wasn't the number. I'm so glad that Uncle Clifford wants what Andre was able to get, or whatever Corbin was always chasing after. If not a full lease, pay me in full so I can walk away with a real profit and go do something else. I think Haley is going to be able to get away from Montrose, but not without being held hostage for a little bit. But that's a lot to go down in the club, because I'm confused. Why not walk away with him in the club? Uncle Clifford ain't letting nobody in. Number 2, maybe she thinks she's smarter than him, can outplay him. But I feel like Mercedes and Andre is going to save Haley, and that's going to save the day. And it's going to show Mercedes really has an affinity for Haley because their friendship is bonded over the funneling of money. But you could tell Mercedes really kept looking back. Somebody in the comments even brought it up as she was lap dancing with the coach. But she had a plan in action. She needed to execute it. And she wanted that extra money from coach in order to get her studio, dance hall, dance routine going. Lil Murder. Again, Little Murder sounded good on the Spotify sound play, or the playlist. I listened to it the entire drive, and it actually lasted longer than I thought. I'm like, whoa, P-Valley got this many songs playing on the episodes? Child, it's only been 7 episodes. So, like, that playlist lasted 2-3 hours. Ooh, yes, it did, honey. Anyway, shout out to all the artists that they are promoting. Those local artists or regional artists you may not always hear about, but they're making it through PValley. Yay! Look, to quote Erica Badu, they're artists and they can be sensitive about their stuff. But I do respect local and regional artists that still keep grinding, putting out what people want to hear. You don't think Boosie and Webby was regional? That's regional, honey. Real regional. Okay, moving along, Lil Murder. I do believe he is going to be Peter denying Christ and then hear the rooster crow after the third denial. Yeah, I just threw that parable out. Well, it's not even a parable. It's actually the story. Anyway, I threw it out there. But y'all get the gist. I think, though, he's going to come around after he does the denial of Uncle Clifford. And Uncle Clifford, as we saw from the previews, tell him, just go on. You got what you wanted out of me. But it's like Clifford should be able to see. This is something a little more. This wasn't just like he was using you to be on stage. He could rap. He couldn't even rap. DJ Never Scared told him, but Clifford had to help coach him. Mississippi, Keyshawn had to help coach him. I do anticipate Keyshawn trying to take a shot at abusive boyfriend Derek. I do anticipate Diamond and Keyshawn getting together. I think Big L is going to take the fall for somebody. If not, go back to prison. He's going into his grave. You know, just a one-off. I don't anticipate them losing any of the major characters. But who am I? Nobody. I'm just somebody with one little old tweet from the director / writer. Well, actually doesn't write. Creator / writer, Miss Katori Hall. And I'm just super impressed. Like, yo, my peers are really doing it. That's all. And I think it's really nice to see. And that's what you'll see again. The love that I have for this show stems from the dialect, the tone. It feels like things that I know are finally getting some level of representation in a larger platform and a wider audience. And it's not limited. It's not local. And it's not being diminished. You know, it's not in that ugly, nasty way. It's being talked about in a way that grows fondly to you, or it attaches itself to you. I think Mayor Isaiah Washington is going to be able to get his casino to the Chucalissa Valley and help improve people's lives, but not before their church help tears it down. I think that'll be part of season 2, not part of this end finale. And I think that's part of will hold you out there. I believe Corbin brothers are going to step in like, you Negroes is holding up our money, and that's when the resistance is going to come. And even Corbin being told, look here, that ER needs to drop off that nig word and put a hard A or a softer A on there. Your other side showing up. I think that's when Corbin's going to find his place to push back against his brothers in a meaningful way. I do believe Mercedes will be reunited with her teenage daughter, and I anticipate those two being able to have a better relationship. Not just because creator-writer Miss Katori Hall shouted her out as a good actress, a talented actress. I'm sorry, y'all, but the alert just went off over here. And don't even ask me why they in my space when I clearly said I'm going to record. Please go elsewhere and turn everything off. So with that being said, I think there's value to portray that mother-daughter development on screen in such a way. For young ladies who don't get a chance to see themselves, that's the case. And for mothers who are struggling how to reintroduce or find a place in their child's life that have not been actively parenting for years. I think that's a value and real consequence. I can tell you now, a few other court workers, DCSF, Department of Children Family Services, whatever you call it for wherever location you are, I think there are multiple working professionals who will want to see that play out on TV and have a positive ending, but with some splices of reality in there, meaning the rejection from the child, some setbacks in the court, counseling being required, classes you have to attend, lawyers being involved when there can't be a stipulated agreement between the adults involved. Or just if there is a agreement between all the adults involved in the situation, the fact that you still have to get that child's input because she's 13 and older. I mean, if she's in high school, we expect her to at least be 14. But let's say for these purposes, she's 15 because Mercedes said she was, 25, 26. So we ain't saying the child came when she was 10, 11, 12. because then we have to talk about the idea that the husband who was cheated with a child. Whatever. So with that being said, I'm saying it has real intrinsic value to play that out on screen to show a reuniting family where the mother was not the active parent, but now is looking to get not just the official title, but some real role there. And we shouldn't just have losing Isaiah as the linchpin. God help us. I'm not saying that story's not valid. I'm just saying that's a tough story, and even I haven't watched that movie. I'm good. Andre, I do believe Andre is going to leave his doctor wife while she's in her rounds during season 2 to chase after Haley, like officially leave. Because he had his pride struck. He believes he's part of PValley and Chucalissa. That's always his home. Remember, Haley said it. His wife was like, that ain't your home. And home is here with me in Atlanta. Oh, I know that feeling because you can't try it with me in my hometown. I'm going to tell you now, baby, I care. I care enough. I still pay for a lot that goes on in that city. So back up. Man, my brother checked in with me like, oh, hey, if you're watching, do you know who that guy is with the ankle bracelet? I was like, oh, yeah, he likes Mercedes. You know, I'm thinking the character. I didn't know his name or anything like that. I was thinking, yeah, he has an ankle bracelet, blah, 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 blah. He was like, no, like, do you know who he really is in real life? I know he's some kind of football player. I never looked into him. And he went on and on and on. Apparently he has a twin brother or high-achieving NFL brother as well. He aged out because, again, he was in good shape, but the age was the issue. So I will say this. Shout out to the crew who did the casting, director of photography who catches things on the back end and gets it cleaned up. Y'all come together and hustle hard, not just for yourselves, but you make my girl, Miss Katori Hall, look good, because it's nice to see, like, different people can watch this as a couple, as a family group, as a unit. I ain't saying with the little kids, although it's not G-rated, but it is like PG-13. Kids that watch worse. Hell, I read The Color Purple in 4th grade, or did I watch it in 4th grade and read it? Either way, I was in elementary school. Girl in the back of the bus gave it to me to read. And I was like, what's this? Oh, like the movie? And I read it before. I was like, oh, this has a lot going on. Okay, so moving on. My point is, it's possible for people to have varied interests, sit down, and see the story for what it is. Of course, you'll have some do-gooders. I don't want to just scream all hoteps because that's not it. I'm not trying to generalize anyone, but the hotep kind who be like, it's just about strippers. What the hell? What you mean? This ain't saving our people. Actually, if you could watch this and only see it's just about strippers, honey, you're superficial. This ain't about brainwashing. This ain't about who green lit and the conspiracy theory of why can't this be done. The hell with all y'all. This is a black woman who has sat down and done some research for 5 to 7 years to make this a play for Broadway. Realized as she was writing, yeah, this isn't a play. This is deeper. It has to be unfolded in longer pieces. Boom, got the series and got an approval. And got an approval from a major network. Stars ain't no poo-poo. This ain't no Justice Joyce TV on YouTube with some chat. And no disrespect to YouTube web series. I watch a lot of y'all. I like it. Issa Rae was coming from this area. Your girl from Girls did even less. She just wrote a plotting piece on one sheet of paper and got out the door and got a whole HBO series. Lena Dunham. Don't believe me? Look it up. So help others. Push back. Be resistant. Don't be all dismissive because it may not be your cup of tea. Pay attention to the underlying themes, which I like to call out. Pay attention to the politics and the governing that goes on for this episode. Pay attention to the whole concept behind economic development when you're dealing with a place of despair. And what does that look like? Especially although that place may need this economic development, but they're resistant to it because, one, they deem, well, that's not a pure piece of economics to bring to the area. Meaning, I don't want to just say the Bible thumpers, but those who wholly believe and follow the church would be staunchly opposed to the idea of the casino coming. And being a child product of a casino area, I vividly remember when even we had like Sister Margaret, which was, my word, what's her name? They basically want to make her a deity or give her a real title. Who does all the donations. Okay, no need to ask nobody over here because they're going to look upside my head like whatever. So basically, like the female Gandhi or the real person who gives out, Angelina Jolie is seen as such. But the true philanthropist that gives in nothing in return but does it in the namesake of God and the church, Sister, not Ay Diablo. Sorry, I cannot remember her name to save my life right now. Drop in the comments if you can. But she is known worldwide as the benevolent figure who operates under the umbrella of helping in the name of God and Jesus. At the end of the day, those areas were some of the most vocal opponents of a casino coming into my hometown. Now we have 5. So it is a casino industry, it's a casino area. We don't have rules like Mississippi where it has to be on water, it can never be on land. We don't have rules on that the ship has to pull away, the boat pulls away, it never does. But what I can say is it's worth discussing how do you bring prosperity into an area that has been on the decline for generations, that was primarily agricultural and not any forward movement industry, doesn't have technology as strong as other areas, does not have a technological base, meaning no one's there coding. Silicon Valley isn't looking to come to some valley in Mississippi, Georgia, some parts of Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana. You got to work with it. I'm impressed with the businesses, the Fortune 100 companies that are in Alabama. The fact that even some of the smaller places in South Carolina have a whole international airport, Greenville and Sparta. Why? Because they have the Mercedes-Benz there. The companies are coming and going, and they need to be able to get where they have to go. And they're not doing it from private airports. But anyway, what are your speculations? What do you expect to happen? Who do you expect to survive? Whose funeral are we attending? Are y'all wearing something? I did not click on the GoFundMe link to support PValley and Uncle Clifford to save the pink. I did not like that Clifford the Big Red Dog meme that they have circulating. Yeah, you see me catch my eyes getting rolling off camera because this one over here trying to snore and go to sleep. We ain't having that. I may show y'all the cat sometimes because I do not look forward to babysitting. FYI, go get your colons checked. If Mr. Chadwick Boseman didn't highlight that, at 43 is a very young age to pass away under any conditions. But if you have it within your means, make it within your budget or some kind of medical assistance. If you don't have it, please talk to your family members to go get their colon checked. You only have to do it once every 10 years. And although the number says 45, when you're black, honey, you learn to do things a little ahead of the curve than what their recommendations are from the ADA. With that being said, but if you definitely have a history of any kind of colon issues in your family, first line, you definitely have to do it before 45. You're supposed to start at 35 if you have a family history. Same thing. Get some mammograms, ladies, while you're out and about. Ladies, get your colonoscopy as well. I am signed up to do so Wednesday. So in like 3 days, I'll be out of commission. Actually, I think I'll start being out of commission on Monday because I'll start to drink. Follow that on YouTube as well. See what else is going on. If you're here like, I ain't come here for all that. Look here, I'm just trying to help out. Let's keep humanity moving forward. More of us living in a good position in life. Good health brings wealth. Y'all take care.